This car was actually a gift to this man for his wedding, on his wedding day. This was about 13 years ago. He then contacted a man out of Egg Harbor City, New Jersey by the name of James Rawa. He said, man, I want to take it to the next level. He goes into a sub shop to order a sub, flips his phone open, and Chrysler actually made a mistake and put the Demon 170 online for sale. So he goes in to order a $6 bagel and comes out with a Demon 170 engine. Chrysler, 2 of those slipped through the cracks within there. So we're going to uncover it and talk about it. But ladies and gentlemen, the 1957 Plymouth built by James Rawa for Vinnie Pepitone. Her name is Darlene. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Now what sets this car apart is James originally did this car for Vinnie, like I said, years ago, when they decided to upgrade it. The difference with this build compared to most builds is one man did all the work. He did the chassis, he did the paint, he did the body, he did the interior. He put in the Demon 170. He took 2 factory Chrysler wiring harnesses apart and made that engine work with a push-button Chrysler transmission. No rear end sensors, no anti-lock sensors. None of the late model stuff that's on the Challenger Demon 170 is in this car. But yet it'll crank up right now and run down the road. This car is actually an engineering masterpiece in its own. You need to look at it. And this man right here, Mr. James Rawa, a good friend of mine, we met here 4 years ago. James, this car is absolutely amazing. And obviously Vinnie made a bad decision or a good decision. And I want to start with something first. Vinnie, why a Demon 170?
Why not?
Guys from New York, they're short for words. You know how they are.
So having this odd opportunity to purchase one of the 2 engines that they released, why not put one of the greatest Hemi engines in modern time into one of the prettiest Plymouths ever built? And that was the idea behind it. But this is the gentleman who could do it all, and he certainly did, and he outshined it.
James, this thing's absolutely amazing. Even my dad, who's been around this stuff forever, says that you're not human. So what prompted you to take this, to take on this project for Vinnie?
Well, 57 and 58 Plymouths are my specialty, and this one was also close to my heart because it was mine for 10 years prior to it becoming a gift for me. So when we first endeavored, the original plan was a 512 stroker, which was kind of my baseline engine for most of my build at this point. And when we found the opportunity to use the Demon 170, he said, "Are you willing to do it?" I said, "Yeah, good thing I can build that B case 727, switch to an A case." So I prepared and built small block valve 727, 65, slip yoke trans. The only stock part of the trans is the case, output shaft, tail shaft, rear pump, those things. The rest is all CRT built internals. Built to handle the 1,025 horse of the Demon 170 engine. We went with a Curry 9-inch with 350 gears, sprung on Caliber split monoleaves and Caltrax. Several modifications to the chassis in preparation. The springs were moved inboard, boxed the chassis, had to do a lot of modifications to the cross member to accommodate the Gen 3 Hemi. And at that point, you know, it was a matter of, as Vinnie said and Herb mentioned, taking it to the next level. Last year I debuted a car named Eva, a plum crazy dual quad 300D powered 58 Fury. And at that point the only Plymouth left the top was my own, and that was the mission with this one. I think we hit the mark. The premise of this car was to not give away the drivetrain. So at quick glance from the exterior, there are no modern features. It was born a 57 Savoy and now presents itself as a 58 Belvedere by trim level. The hubcaps are 71 Fury, which emulate the 58 hubcaps since we have our own 15-inch wheels on it. The interior is reminiscent of a 57 Fury and 57 Belvedere. However, there are slight modifications throughout to make it once again unique. The dashboard alone has about 17 modifications, including relocating the glove box, the radio, and adding a fully padded dash. And this is the third 57 or 58 one with a fully padded dash, likely in existence, since I did the first one for release in 2019. And each time, it just keeps getting better and better. With every build, you find improvements that can be made along the way. There's already a few during the on-site engineering, I like to call it. Everything was a step-by-step process of uncharted waters and pretty much an engine that there was no aftermarket available for at this point, since it's not a part of the aftermarket yet. Turn it back to her.
I want to say one other thing too. This guy posts daily updates on Facebook. Fury Jim, you can find him on there. But he has a shop partner, and I want to bring him up here. This was not planned. Come here for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the smartest 10-year-old you'll ever meet in your life. So in all these pictures, when this car was getting built, this kid right here was beside him. Every day, every picture, there's pictures of him sanding body work, there's pictures of him grinding. I'm not so sure he did the wiring in the wiring harness, but he will one day, don't worry. But this is truly a family operation. James' wife, Alyssa, and Betty, your wife, Tasha, who actually gave this car as a wedding present. So men out there, if your woman did not buy you a car like this for a wedding present, then hold it against her. That's all I got to say. Do what you got to do. James, again, thank you, everybody. The car will be on display down in the forward look cars for the rest of the weekend. And we appreciate Carlisle for giving us the time to bring the car up here and showcase it. And one last thing, it will also be later tonight and Saturday night down at the Sox and Martin tent, the McCandless Collection tent, down on the left, where we have, for the first time available in over 20 years, officially Sox and Martin licensed merchandise. Herb McCandless and Buddy Martin are on site to sign and answer any questions along with the seminar tomorrow. So we appreciate everything. Thank you, guys.
Thanks again, Herb McCandless Jr. Thanks to everyone who was part of our panel. Bill Miller, Lance Miller, Frank Rhodes, Bill Allen.